Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Soccer as We Like It, the Euro 2020. The Euros is over. Italy are the champions. Football did not come home. Football went to Rome. I'm Tim Ross, your host, and today we have to talk about so many elements because everything has gone out like a complete wildfire. We're going to talk about the game, we're going to talk about racism, and we're going to talk about the violence that has brought all into this cooking pot of what's gone wrong with society when it comes to football, the beautiful game. Now, England lost on penalties by 3-2. But the people who missed the penalties were black. We will talk about that part in the next part of this show. But let's talk about the match. As we all know, we all anticipated England football was coming home. England haven't won it since 1966. This was the Euros. They won the World Cup in 66. That's 55 years ago. Most of us were not even born. So to experience that in today's society would have been phenomenal. But like I said, and like people said, the team England were going to face were no pushovers. These guys were not a team that was just going to be a walk in the park and just going to walk all over them. No, this is an Italian side that started all over again, reset. Mancini got in there after they failed to qualify for World Cup for the first time in 60 years in 2018. Since then, they have not lost a game in 33 matches, and that is a long time. That's 3 years they've not lost a game. It tells you the pedigree of this team. Yes, England had the whole country behind them. Every football fan who was an Italian, kind of wanted England to win for the sake of just get over it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't meant to be. Tactically, England started like a house on fire. Boom! Luke Shaw, 3 minutes, goodbye and good night. Everyone thought, you know what? But no, they did not capitalize. They sat back, and instead of going for a second goal, they sat back to defend. It's harder to defend one goal. Italians, as tricky and cunning as they are, and as technically advanced as they are, kept coming, and they found a way in the second half and got a goal and took the game to extra time, and it went to penalties. Penalties, England have not won penalties. The last time England won penalties was the last World Cup in 2018. It was the first time in so many times they failed in tournaments when it comes to penalty shootouts. While you're watching our video, don't forget to smash a like, drop your comments, and don't forget to subscribe and get us to 4K. Thank you very much. That's the journey and the target we're trying to get to. We're not far from it, but just keep subscribing and we'll get there. Thank you very much. As you can see, this is where England are. They have gotten better without a doubt. Without a doubt, they have improved. They have better quality players. But yesterday's game, a lot of the players who would have made a difference did not come into play to the last parts of the game. Grealish should have come in instead of Henderson. Instead of Henderson, I don't know what he was brought in there to come and sit deep and defend and invite more pressure. That was a bad move. But this is what it is. Then it brings on Rashford and SANCHO with 2 minutes to go in extra time. Sancho's only touch of the ball was taking a penalty. Not enough warm-up time. Rashford, same thing. And you get a 19-year-old to take a penalty and he misses. That's a lot of pressure. People say, why weren't the senior players? John Stones, why didn't he offer? Grealish, why didn't he offer? Grealish said, I offered, I was not given, I was told no. Okay, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Then you had other players. Stones was there. Shaw was there. These are more senior players. But they didn't volunteer to take the penalties. So even Southgate even asked Pickford to take a penalty. But it's the young boys, Sancho, Rashford, and Saka. Out of the three of them, I've only seen Rashford take penalties for Man United. I've never seen Saka take a penalty for Arsenal. Never seen Sancho take a penalty. So I didn't know what to expect from the other two guys. But I know what I was expecting from Rashford when he missed it. But we will talk of what happened next. So England did not make it. Football didn't come home. Italy, congratulations, won Euros. We'll see you in the next welcome to another edition of Soccer As We Like It, the Euro 2020. We all know it is ended and football didn't come home. It went to Rome as Italy beat England on penalties. But there were some other things that came along with the Italian victory and the England home defeat. Right, let's start with there was a lot of violence before the game and after the game. Before the game, there were a lot of fans who had no tickets but were determined to get into the stadium by hook or crook, by any means necessary. They broke a barrier down, went through, started fighting. Some people who tried to stop them started beating up the Italian fans. It was a complete free-for-all fighting. Then you had, after the game, fist fights, Italian and England fans. It was a complete mess. But should English fans be known as sour grapes, sour losers, not being able to accept being defeated? Is that what we should accept ourselves as? Is that where we're at? But the violence should not be condoned. The violence is not part of the game. Winners and losers will be in every situation. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. Yes, the police made 49 arrests in London alone on that very night, which was yesterday night. A lot of arrests of people being taken, property destroyed, Italian restaurants being damaged. You know, it was absolutely unnecessary. But is this a yob culture? Is this a drunken culture? Is this I don't give a shit culture? Or like, you know what, we lost and we're gonna make you pay for it? Is that where we are in society today? I don't know. If you have answers to this, drop your questions, drop your comments, and let's debate this. But, as they say, it didn't matter. It didn't sour the situation. Italy still took the trophy and left and went to Rome. And left us with a bitter taste in our mouth. Football didn't come home. We're going to have to wait for another tournament. And the funny thing, we haven't beaten Italy in 5 attempts in all the tournaments. We haven't beaten Italy. We've tried in 1980, tried in 86, tried in the 90s, we just cannot beat Italy in a tournament. And it proved again yesterday, we can't seem to defeat Italy, even at Wembley. So, what does that say? Back in the day, they were better than us. In the 90s, even yesterday, they're still better than us. I find that, quite strange. But that does not condone or give an excuse for violence, harming fans of Italian fans, damaging property. That was unacceptable. You should have seen the debris, the litter all over London due to the fact that England fans didn't accept the fact that they got beaten and knocked out of the tournament. They didn't get knocked out, they lost the final to a better Italian team. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. I'll see you in our next video. Hello. Welcome to the final part of our show, Soccer As We Like It, the Euro 2020. Yes, football did not come home. Yes, Italians were the winners. They beat England on penalties and all hell went and broke loose. Italy, the football went to Rome and it did not go home. But there was a little problem here. 3 volunteers, 3 young black men who have represented this United Kingdom missed their penalties. RASHFORD, who plays for Manchester United, who normally takes penalties, missed his penalty. SANCHO, who just signed for United, has not normally been available for penalties, took his miss. But the youngest of all, SAKA, who plays for Arsenal, who's never taken a single penalty in his career, took a penalty and they all lost. But this is where the problem actually went pear-shaped. These players who represented the England, who took the pride to wear the 3 lions, were racially abused on social media, called monkeys, emoji from bananas, calling them jungle, they need to go back to Africa, that if they were not in this country, they would not have made this country lose, that if this country was going to go forward, all these monkeys need to leave. These were the comments on social media. It was so bad that Twitter had to delete over 1,000 accounts, which was sent with racial slurs and insults, spewing hatred to these fine young men. But this is the problem. Is this just the reality of the culture we're living today? Is this the real thing? But when things were going so well for England during the qualifications, the games, Raheem Sterling scoring, everyone was happy. But when they miss a penalty, oh, you're black. Oh, hell no. You're not English. Oh, you're black. You need to go back to Africa. You need to go back to the Caribbean. What the fuck is that about? It's so bad that when a black player or a black footballer misses a penalty for England, it's like people have to pray he doesn't miss, because it becomes a slur, a slogan of hate. So these people who are racist come out of the woodwork and spew hate. I mean, spew. The content was so derogatory that the mural in Manchester that was made of Marcus Rashford for the work he's done for kids to get free meals was covered with racial slurs, N-words, the N-word, the black this, the black that. But some beautiful, good people of Manchester who appreciated the work he'd done for this country covered it up, taped all the racial slogans on the mural in Manchester and put love hearts on it. That was beautiful. But should we be getting... Why are we at this point? I'm going to read a piece from the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. I am sickened by the racist abuse aimed at England players after last night's match. It's totally unacceptable that players have to endure this aberrant behaviour. It must stop now, and all those involved should be held accountable. This is from Prince William, the heir to the throne. Then this is from Gary Lineker. You know, he played for England back in the 90s. Great striker. Did what he needed to do. BBC pundit. Booing and racially abusing fine young men that play for our country and have given us so much pleasure and joy over the last month is not being an England fan. That goes to the pathetic fighting at the ground too. It's a minority that is a loud one, and it's embarrassing. But this thing has always been there. It never went away. It's just put into a little corner. When you go to football grounds, I've been there, I've seen it, I've experienced it. Teams who have black players, when visiting teams who have black players, you hear the racists being shouted at, end this, you cunt, you coon, you monkey, and all that shit is thrown at them. But those same fans have black players in their team. So you ask, why are you insulting the other team's black players when your team has black players? The thing is, these are my special black players. They and them. And you're like, why is there so much hate due to the color of your skin in the 21st century? This is 2021. But it seems nothing has changed. This is where society is. And social media has got to do fucking more than what they're doing now, because this is unacceptable. There was one guy who got caught. He said his account was hacked, that he did not send out those racial slurs. Okay, I'm not going to say he did it or didn't do it. It's possible. These things do happen. People hack people's accounts. But the immense hatred toward them three players was just unacceptable. Not acceptable at all. Calling SAKA a black monkey. If he wasn't black, England would have won the European tournament. Rashford and SANCHO, all the N-word, I'm gonna say all the niggers missed the penalties. That if they didn't miss the penalties, they would have won this tournament. Wow. Now that struck a chord. As a black man, it hurt me too. But at the same time, I have a lot of white friends, and you know, we have that mutual respect for each other as human beings. You know, they don't judge me for the color of my skin, and I don't judge them for the color of their skin. I take them for who they are as human beings. But it seems this beautiful game, which is a collective sports globally, has that same group of people who cannot get it out of their head that the hatred is unacceptable. It's just not good enough in the 21st century. You're still calling people N-words. You're still abusing footballers who fight their hard to give their best. Do you think these players wanted to miss penalties? I don't think so. And the funny thing is, when a white player misses a penalty, Southgate missed in '96, Stuart Pearce missed in the 90s. Even Chris Waddle missed in the 1990 World Cup. But they were, as much as England fans were upset with them, like David Beckham was up, he got sent off in '98. White players get abused and is shut down. But when it's a black player, he's abused and racially hated. It's a double layer. It's on another level, mate. So you ask yourself, why? Why? People start asking, you might as well just go play for the country of your origin. Why are you playing for England if the fans will keep going to abuse you anytime things go wrong? These guys need support, not racial hurt, not racial hate and slurs. Abusing them and their families, telling them to go back to the jungle, doing pictures of emojis of monkeys and bananas and cotton fields. That is just not good enough. But that's where we are today. Social media has become a situation whereby people just use that platform as a cyber tool and a bully of a monster to sit behind a screen and type and just spew out racial hate. It's not good enough. We got to do better. The world is changing. We live in a more diverse world, a more global environment. Yes, 66. That was when the last time England won a World Cup. Yes, there were not a lot of black footballers in that country, not even playing football at the time. But football has evolved. That was 55 years ago. But what that guy went through on Sunday, the hatred he got as a 19-year-old, it scars you. Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton said, this is not good enough. It's unacceptable. That people, the country, the prime minister, the mayor, they got to do more to make sure racial hatred is I don't think it can be eradicated because it's a culture. It's a culture. And it's a very bad culture. When everyone's winning, everyone's happy. Oh, you're British. When everything's gone wrong, you're fucking nigger. You're effing this, you're effing that. And that's just not good enough. It hurt. And I feel for these young men. They are human too. You cut them, red blood's gonna come out. Not black blood. They don't deserve that. They really don't. Southgate, should he be held accountable for putting on two players who barely even had time to warm up to throw them right into the lion's den? But then again, from what the media is saying, they volunteered to take it when other senior players didn't want to volunteer. Sterling, Shaw, Stones, Henderson, they didn't volunteer. But Sterling, I can understand. He knew if he misses, he knew what he was going to go through because he's already been through that shit already. So, where do we go from here? Is this the realization of the world we live in today? Sports is a unity game. But obviously, when things don't go according to plan, these black players get vilified and lynched, literally cyber lynched. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. A lot of work has to be done community-wise because this racial hate is inbred. You don't just pick up racism on the store. No, it's inbuilt. It's how you were raised to hate a certain people because of the color of their skin. No, it's not the right way. The media sometimes do not help either. The way they treat Pogba. Oh, his hair, he's that. They condemn that guy. He has to work twice as hard just to be appreciated by the media. I'm not saying all the media is bad, but sometimes the media fuel some of these problems. And at the same time, why should people, after the game yesterday, a lot of black people were being terrorized, being racially abused on their way home from the game. Just because England lost? Why? Why? Some of my friends running into stores to take cover and call a cab because they're being racially abused by white men. Why? Just because England got knocked out, because the England lost a game and football didn't come home? Not good enough. Not good enough. It's sad. We had the match. We had the violence. We had the racial abuse on the players. Not good enough. We can do better. The Black Lives Matter, they're taking a knee. People booing other people's anthems is not good enough. Black Lives Matter is all they're saying is treat us fairly. They're not saying no, all lives matter. I'm not a politician and I don't plan to be a politician. I'm a soccer fan. I love football, as in football, not American football, real football. That's my passion. I love Manchester United and I support England. But at the same time, what I don't like is people of my color being abused because we make mistakes or we did not score a goal. That hurts. That really, really hurts. I'm Tim Ross, your host. Drop a line, drop your comments, tell us what you think. The beautiful game, just because you miss a penalty, you don't deserve to be racially abused and your mural smeared with N-words and coon and monkey chants and monkey emojis, cotton field pictures, slave. That's not good enough. Not good enough. Society and the country of Great Britain just have to do more. I'm Tim Russell. I'll see you very soon.